Okay, people, this is Primo, joined with Johnny. This is a STE preview of the AFC East and the NFC East. And we're going to start with the NFC East and America's team. We'll go with the Cowboys. Let's,
Always, it's always good to start with America's team.
yeah, that's America. Like, land of the free, right? Home of the
Absolutely.
brave, or whatever, like, something like that.
Right,
Okay, so
right,
we got the
right.
Cowboys. Now, we both know that this team's always going to get bloated because it's got the biggest fan base. It's Cowboys, so they're gonna have good abilities, good players, regardless of what happens in real life. But
Yeah, I mean, when you're on TV as much as they are, they're always going to have a lot more attention. So their players are always going to be more spotlighted. So this is
yeah,
already like one of the, I'd probably say like maybe a top five, top six team, like in Madden wise.
yeah, definitely,
Because,
it's a should be a good team. I mean, so you start the quarterback. You got Dak. He's gonna have some abilities, because he's still a superstar despite his playoff struggles. He's a legit quarterback. He's got the money, so and it's Dallas, so he should be a superstar at least.
I would think like I think he ended as an X Factor.
They
So he
might, yeah.
may
I
still,
mean, they might keep him X Factor. I mean, he's putting up
yeah.
top 5 yards, top five TDs, or stuff like that. So it depends on who they take off. But I mean, Brady stays around.
It's
They got to
true.
keep
Like
him X Factor.
yeah, I could totally see it go either way. Like him as a superstar or X
But
Factor, like
yeah, but
totally either way.
he's coming with abilities. That's I think we can agree.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming with abilities.
Already
And
a
you
jump
got
start.
and then you got the running backs. You know, Zeke and Pollard. That's a nice duo. You know, Zeke will probably come with abilities because he's still Zeke. And Pollard, he'll probably be a star. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
Pollard's probably started
and maybe that's the
at
time for
90,
the
93,
Cowboys on the
94
video
speed.
game. Maybe video game Cowboys. Maybe the move is to trade Zeke. He costs a lot, and
Yeah,
you never know.
yeah, because that's going to be the thing with this team in general is that it's going to be up against the cap like after year one. So, like
Maybe he has
Zeke
to
may
eat
need
it.
to be traded or like it's just they're going to be there's a lot going to be a lot of cap issues that they're going to have to GM out of.
For sure. And then we got the receivers. They got CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup. I mean, they lost Cooper to the great Browns.
Good
But yeah, I mean,
luck
the
with that.
receivers are decent, right? What do you think?
Yeah, the receivers are solid. I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up like giving CD like some abilities, just based on. I bet the hype's gonna be there. That by the time we start, like he may have some sort of abilities, or not. Like he may just be a star, but he may.
Definitely. Then tight ends. I mean, all the tight ends look like they got some decent 80 speedish. They can do a little something, something.
Yeah, and they've got a rookie tight end that's not on the roster currently, but because Schultz is up for a contract, so that could be another issue as well. But
Yeah, they need to
again,
trade. Yeah, they can make some trades.
yeah, tight end's going to be a need to fill if they don't decide to sign Schultz. And knowing Jay Stopper, like he loves throwing to the running back and the tight end. Like he doesn't really throw to anybody else other than those two. So I
So
know it's going to be
Jay
important
Stopper,
for him.
tight end and running backs. Okay.
Yeah, he used to be called what was it, flat stopper or something like that is what somebody else called him. Because he only threw to the flats.
Hey, whatever works, I guess.
Nah, I mean it worked for him for a while. He would get in the playoffs.
And then obviously the Cowboys' offensive line over the last 10 years, they've been top one, somewhere between 1 and 5. They're just phenomenal. And
Yeah.
they got some young people, some holes here and there, but I mean,
Overall, I mean, if you have two superstars on the O line, like that's already
yeah,
like there's not that many superstar linemen in the game, so you already have two of
right.
them.
And
Like
they have two
that's
of them,
huge.
so
So
what
yeah,
do you think of
they'll
John?
have a good O line, so you should be able to run the ball with whoever he decides to keep it running back.
Definitely. And then what do you think about left end with Demarcus Lawrence?
Yeah, his contract's also huge as well. But he's gonna be 30, so I would expect like him to start to regress some. But for year one, like it should still be really good.
And then
And
right
then you
end.
have, I would say, like as far as like the pass rushers, like if you like, it really depends on how you'd want to run it. Like you could use Micah Parsons as your user lurker because he's going to have anywhere between like 90 to 93 speed.
Yeah.
Um, well, Jay Stopper's really good at using the hit stick, so that might be something to use Micah for like enforcer and lurker or something like that. It might be the move for him because the
Yeah.
pass rush will be pretty solid if you can get Sam Williams developed because he's going to be 85 to 88 speed.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, the Cowboys are a really good roster. I mean, think about it.
Yes,
They got
they're
Diggs,
a super good roster. Then corners, you're going to have Diggs, who's a superstar.
who you believe
Uh,
should be the only acrobat in the game. You
yeah,
got
I
that in
mean
there.
he's the only one that makes acrobat plays like that all the time. So
Yeah. Watch.
nah, but I don't really think that. Like it was just looking at the highlights. I got hyped. I had my
Yeah.
Cowboy sunglasses on for a minute and just
Uh,
wanted to stir the pot. But he is gonna be like a premier corner. Like if you figure 93 speed at 23, 24 years old with acrobat, and then you also have Anthony Brown and Joseph with 93 and 94 speed. Like that's like your nickel package is super good.
yeah. I would like to play with the Cowboys. It's a really good team.
Right, right. I mean, when I go look at how slow my corners for the Seahawks, I'm gonna be real pissed when I see
Yeah.
how fast he is.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys are a solid team, and you never know. They may
Yeah,
make
they're
some splash. Maybe they go get
yeah
ODB. Who knows? And
they're a good team, and I'm pretty sure even after we wait to after the cuts, there our special teams ace is CJ Goodwin, who's always like a Madden god. He could be a user as well. He's a 6'3" safety with 93 speed. Like that guy is crazy good for a user. Uh, so that's an option as well for him.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
I mean,
so
we'll see
like if
how
you
the
want to go
game
that route,
comes out and what's broken and what. So, how do you think Jay Stopper and the Cowboys finish in the division? Just
I
like
would say yeah. Like if I had to
rank.
base it just in the division, I would honestly say him and Chalk are probably the two best users in the division, but Jay Stopper's team is just going to be way better. So I would say Jay Stopper should win the division pretty easily.
Pretty easily. Okay. Well, let's talk about the Giants and Chalk.
I think the Giants are going to have I think they have a lot of cap. I'm not 100% sure, but if they have a lot of cap, this will make their team a lot better with the next year or so. Because Chalk's not afraid to spend money in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
But to start out with, starting with Daniel Jones is it's not a good look.
No, but hey, if you ball out, you can sign your franchise quarterback cheap whenever he's
Yeah,
up.
but I
So
mean, I like just looking at a 70 overall quarterback, and most of that's boosted because he's fast. It's gonna take a
yeah,
lot for him to like get boosted up, and I think Chalk's probably gonna try to play smart and run the ball. Like, hopefully he makes a custom playbook. He said he didn't do that last year, so hopefully that's on his agenda this year to make a custom. But Daniel Jones is a star, probably normal or star dev. Then you've got Saquon, who was a beast, but now is only a star dev. Uh, they do have Burrito. It looks like I forgot they got him. So he's
it's a
got two
good
speed
team.
backs.
So that's really good to have, right?
Yeah, so he should be able to run the ball at least with two speed backs
And
like
even
that.
even even if he doesn't, it's currency. That's still league currency.
Exactly,
So he
that's
can
true.
make some. It's all about what you got, and what moves you want to make. Obviously, they can all trade all their picks away and really get something. Who knows? So
Yeah, I
it
mean,
really
knowing
depends on
Chalk, he
how.
might blow the whole thing up, day
Yeah,
one, and
who
just
knows? Yeah, but like, so we'll definitely got to see. But yeah, I like the fact that the Giants do have two service running backs at least.
Yeah, and honestly, their receivers won't be that bad. Like the Galladay contract is not good, and he's probably like a star dev guy. But then you'll have two young guys with Kadarius Toney and Wandell Robinson, who will probably be like mid 90s speed guys, would be awesome if he can get the quarterback. That'll be like two good receivers to start with that are young too. That'll be cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one silver lining with the Giants like roster. They did lose Ingram at tight end, but
Yeah.
they have a former receiver that switched over to tight end and Colin Johnson, and then they have also another receiver, or he was either receiver or quarterback, Ricky Seals Jones. I don't remember. I think he was
I
a
don't remember.
receiver,
No.
but he switched over and he's fast and big too. So like he could have like two big, basically receivers playing tight end, which
Yeah,
would be a steal in some aspects.
definitely. And what about their
And
offensive
then
line?
so the O line, I know that they've spent a lot of capital on it, like draft capital. So like the Evan Neal and Andrew Thomas are both going to be solid, good tackles. I just don't know if they're going to give Neal superstar or not. If they do, like that'd be huge for him out the gate if he can get that as a superstar because he doesn't have any superstars on his offense.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe Neal, and then on the defense they might give Leonard Williams maybe an ability,
Okay.
but I
They
can't really
might.
think of too many. I
They
can't think of
might.
any abilities that the Giants are
Uh,
going to have to start with.
oh yeah, not too many. Maybe Saquon. Um,
I don't know. But I mean, overall, like I like the defense to build up because he's got Lawrence and Leonard Williams both could be good D tackles, in the to
hmm
stop the run. And then he'll have two young defensive ends or rushers with Kayvon Thibodeau and Aziz Ojolari. Both would be really good. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too mad about that front
Yeah,
four to build
he's got
upon.
Jalen Smith too. Some user speed.
Is he still on the roster?
Maybe I don't know.
I feel like he might have got cut or
Uh,
didn't get re-signed. But I haven't kept up with him after he
no,
left us.
I don't keep up. But yeah, they got some stuff to
But I
play
mean,
with.
if he's there, like that'd be good because he was always a good Madden player. But then corner wise, he does have Adoree Jackson, who's like a 93 speed corner, which is nice. Outside of that, not a lot.
Yeah, I'll mix and match and figure it out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like I would say Chalk could probably compete with Jay Stopper, but just the lack of team, like skill wise, is gonna put him in a hole to start with. So I could see Chalk maybe blowing it up and trying to just complete rebuild with like picks, or doing the opposite and just going to spend all his money in free agency.
Okay, so you probably see him battling for second. Maybe
Honestly,
pushing for
now
the
that I'm looking
division.
at it, I could see him battling for third. Like I don't. I think that HD might pass him
All right, let's talk about the Eagles.
because the Eagles team is pretty nice.
Yeah, they got nice team. They got Jalen Hurts, so that's always something. Gardner
Which Jalen
Minshew,
Hurts, as much hype as he's getting right now, like who knows? Maybe they do give him superstar abilities, like or maybe he's at least higher than a 74, because they are like the media is super hyping him right now.
yeah, maybe. Man's always listen to the media. So yeah, they got Hurts, they got Miles Sanders.
Not a lot of running back, but like that's a position that you can always replace. But then
Uh,
receivers, you have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, and the goat Quez Watkins with 98 speed. Like
yeah,
those three receivers right there is already like makes they have the best receiving core in the NFC East.
yeah.
Well, I guess you could say Washington maybe.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that.
All right,
But what about the tight
but
ends?
tight ends you'll have Goddard, who's already pretty good. He's a star dev. But then they had uh, two converted tight ends that are going to be like mid 80s speed with JJ Arcega Whiteside and then also Tyree Jackson, who both converted over. So those like they may not be able to block for shit, but they'll be able to at least have some speed, which you can
Oh
use.
yeah, that's Madden all about that.
Oh yeah, I mean Goddard
Whiteside.
was a receiver. If they keep him, that was like 89 speed.
Oh,
And I would say for O line, he's probably got the maybe the I'd say probably the second. Well, yeah, the second best O line. He's also will have two superstar dev O linemen, and then the Eagles have drafted a bunch of O linemen lately, like in the first two rounds. So he'll be able to have young O linemen to build up as well once Kelsey and Lane Johnson retire.
yeah.
They have Mailata, Dillard, Dickerson, Jurgens was drafted in the second round. I think that was it, maybe. But still, that's still a really good offense to start out with. I mean, AJ Brown probably has superstar dev. He's probably that, and the O line are probably the only dev guys that he'll start out with on the offense. But it's still a lot of skill to start out with compared to the Giants and Washington.
Yeah.
And then the defense,
Brandon
I would
Graham.
say, yeah, Graham's still there. He's older. They got Sweat, who's fast, and he's got like 85 speed. Two good D tackles with Cox and Hargrave. And then they drafted that big boy, Jordan Davis, from Georgia.
Mm.
So he could be a replacement for Cox immediately. Or like if he wanted to run a 3-4, like having those three as the D linemen, like that would definitely help shut down the run.
Yeah.
Then they signed Hassan Reddick, who's a really good pass rusher last year. They got N'Kobe Dean. I don't know how fast they're gonna make him, but like he was top linebacker that fell in the draft. And then Davion Taylor was another like super high speed pass rusher linebacker that they could use as well.
Okay, they got Darius Slay still, right?
Yep, still have Slay. They signed Bradbury. Then he's got Avante Maddox, who's super fast in the slot. So a good guy you can blitz from the slot. And then safeties kind of whatever. They have nothing really super special, I would say. He could potentially use Kerry Benson as a user, 92 speed safety. But if I had to look at it right now, I'd probably say this will probably be the second best team in the NFC East.
You talking about how they finish?
Mm-hmm.
You talking about so HD? You got HD Junkie or finishing maybe second place in the NFC East. All
Yeah, I
right.
mean, Chalk did really well the first two seasons that I played, but then that last season, like, he just completely tanked. And I don't know what happened, like, if he just gave up or what.
Probably a combination of
But
things.
I do know that the old man HD will be watching every streamer. Like, he's going to have every tips and tricks available to where I think, like, he's going to know what's up. And me and him talk about Madden, like, daily, so I'm sure anything I have, I'm going to be giving to him.
I hear you. Get him right. Get him right. All right, let's go with the Commanders, the football. Now, I don't know too much about this user, but obviously the team they just got a new name, the Commanders, not football team anymore. So,
Yeah,
uh,
the Commanders is my boy. Uh, Actual boy in real life. His name's Corey. He's a huge Commanders fan. Like we live here in Virginia, so he's been diehard. Like he's from Alexandria, so the Redskins slash football team slash Commanders is like his bread and butter. Like he loves them more than anything. So he's excited to take over them, but he hasn't played PS5 Madden. So I'm expecting this year to be a straight struggle bus for him until he like gets his feet wet.
So he's probably gonna finish in last place. Okay.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but probably there's gonna be a lot of picks.
Hey, we're gonna have
I,
fun and it's a good division.
yeah, I mean, I tell him like I would watch his games back on PS4 like I'd be watching my Cowboys, and him just throwing picks like he was Tony Romo out there would just have me disgusted and turn off the PlayStation. But he's got a good team to start out with. The Commanders do have a pretty good roster outside of quarterback. Um, I don't think he's going to want to build around Carson Wentz long term since he's already going to be 29 next year at 73. Like I can't picture him being able to build him up past that. But overall, like with the receiver, like he has Gibson, and then probably the second best receiving core with McLaurin, Samuel, and Dotson. Like that's a straight loaded young receiving core to work on. And then he's got Logan Thomas, who's an older tight end, so he'll probably need a new tight end at some point. I know they drafted someone, but I don't know if he's any good or not.
Yeah, we'll see what those drafted ones turn out to be.
Yeah. O line, I don't think Washington's O line's any good. I think they got rid of Brandon Sheriff, so I don't think I think it looks based on the roster. This roster, it looks average, but
Right. So, but who knows? No
it's better than
standouts.
it's better than god awful. So that's a plus. Their main strength's gonna be the D line, and everything I heard from and from what I played the beta, like the pass rush is ridiculous. So
Yeah.
that
They'll just
may help him a lot
Yeah.
having Chase Young, Sweat, Allen, and Payne. Like that's just a stupid front four. So he may be able to luck into some more wins than what he should get.
Yeah. Well, you never know that D line. You can wreck people like
Yeah.
that.
And then a 90 speed user, it'll be a second year player, John Davis. Will be crazy good.
Yeah.
And then corners, I think they have some speed with Will Jackson and Fuller, but outside of that, the rest of them are kind of just guys that'll probably get replaced.
Okay.
And then safety,
Trey,
they got rid of what's his name, Landon Collins,
Okay.
but they have Cameron Curl, who's a young guy, and then another GOAT user, Troy Apke, at free safety. So, I mean, if you have him and Davis as your user linebackers, like that's a really good using core to use.
Yeah. So I think based on what we've went over, we can say Cowboys, Eagles, Giants probably battle in that order, and then the Commanders will be just learning for a first season or so.
Yeah, I think that first season is going to be a learning experience for him, and he'll probably be drafting C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young early on to replace Carson Wentz. But he's good enough, like from before, if he can get his stuff together, like to compete for a playoff spot. He just has to like get his feet wet and get used to the game.
Okay. All right, let's touch on the AFC East. Let's go with the Jets. The Jets.
Yeah, the Jets probably are my favorite rebuild team. Like they have young players, young fast players everywhere.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is like a off-season goat. They might make him superstar based off the rumors going around right now.
the MILF killer Zach Wilson. Like
Exactly.
I mean,
he might get X Factor just off that.
right.
Boy is wild.
Yeah.
But he got speed
I mean,
and he's got an arm.
Yeah, so Zach Wilson's great, not only for MILF hunting, the Mormon MILF hunter, but like he's a good quarterback to build on. Uh, and then running backs, they drafted Brees Hall, which he'll probably be like low 90s speed star dev, which that's easy to build up on when you have a rookie like that.
Yeah.
And then they have a couple other guys like Ty Johnson and Michael Carter, who's a good receiving back, but having Brees Hall and Zach Wilson's already a good start. And then the receivers are freaking nice. Like having Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, and even Denzel Mims, who's like a 6'3", like low 90s young receiver. Like that's a good receiving core.
Mm-hmm.
And D Freeman, if he can continue it over from last year, like he was really good at passing last year, so this game's gonna be a little
Yeah.
bit tougher to pass on. But if he can carry that over, like he could be
Yeah.
really tough to
Freeman.
stop in the AFC.
He is good. He is good at the game. So I actually do see the Jets winning this division probably
Yeah,
from
I think
beginning to the
it's
end of
a.
the cycle.
I don't know how many like abilities they'll start out with early, but like it's one of those teams that's really young that should be able to get abilities quickly based on
Yeah.
how like the players are already pretty good already and fast. Let's
Okay.
see. O
Tight ends as
line.
well.
I kind of looked at tight end, but there really wasn't anything there to talk about. Like
Okay.
it's just,
I got Becton. Probably have abilities again.
yeah, 6'7", 360 pound left tackle. It's just wild. And then Lakeland Tomlinson's solid, another big boy. I don't think they drafted anybody else, so it's really just a left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they drafted
Okay.
Elijah Vera Tucker last year in the first round, but I don't think he has abilities.
No, he won't.
Um, D line, they'll have Carl Lawson, and they drafted Jermaine Johnson, who'll probably like mid 80s speed, like star dev, which is a good like that's a two good pass rushers to start out with. Quentin Williams probably has abilities, and he'll only be like 24.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's a young roster that can be built up.
Right, right, exactly.
They got a good user that will probably get a lot of stats as needed for those dev games. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
they've got a lot of speed at linebacker with Javon White's like gonna be like 89 speed. Then they have Quincy Williams and Hamza Nazardine. Both are like 87 speed.
Yeah, young guys too.
And then they have a couple speed corners with Sauce Gardner. They'll have Michael Carter and Javalen Geardy. I don't remember how to say his name, but I remember him being drafted. He was
Yeah,
super
Geardy.
fast.
Yeah.
And
Somehow
they have
players
two
like
other
this
guys
end up getting
that are
traded
rookies.
to. Somehow these guys end up getting traded to KG Gertie. I remember him like finishing the team one year. I'm like, what the fuck? He was getting like 98 speed or something. That was crazy.
Yeah. And the Panthers already have like a super fast quarterback group as well already. So
Yeah.
any other speed is just nuts. But Sauce should be really good. I don't know if he'll have traits or not, but like he's already going to be super good at probably mid 90s speed as a rookie.
Mm-hmm. They
And then
got
Ashton Davis is a super
good.
fast
Yeah.
free safety. The strong safeties kind of suck, but
Yeah.
still,
So
like that
I
team's
yeah. So the team's not great, but it's great for the long run, and the user's
yeah,
great enough to win the division probably
yeah,
regardless.
because you won't have to draft a quarterback because you should be able to build Zach Wilson up. You won't have to draft receivers or running backs, which those always go fast, and corners. So the long scheme, like you're not like you're gonna be able to have value fall to you Same thing with free agency. You're gonna be able to have the value fall to you because you're not gonna have to overpay for the positions that are premium in Madden.
All right, let's look at the Patriots. We got Creasy, the crazy Creasy one. So the Patriots is his home. That's his home team. He's a diehard
Oh, okay.
Patriots
I was
fan.
wondering why he would pick the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean he's ready to roll with whatever, but I put him as his own team because it's not like anyone
And
picks the Patriots anyways.
no, not anymore. Not
Especially now
without
that they don't
Tom
have
Brady.
Tom Brady, it's kind of like it's
Yeah.
Bill Belichick's team. It's like who wants to? I mean, it's still be a decent rebuild for a good GM, but I mean nobody's trying to
Yeah, I mean they
rebuild that.
have. I think so. Mac Jones is going to be kind of if, but he'll be
Yeah,
solid for a young
he might give
quarterback.
him. Did they give him superstar? Because I mean, he did push the playoffs. I don't know, but he's gonna be decent because he did
Yeah, he'll be
decent.
decent. But running back wise, if he doesn't like Damian Harris, they drafted a running back. He's not on this roster. Pierre Strong in the third round, who ran like a 4.3. So I know he's going to be like a mid 90s running back.
Mm.
So that's already like going to be a big thing because he'll be one of the fastest running backs in the game that he'll be able to use. If I think Harris is a free agent after this year, so if they let Harris go, like he can be the starting running back. And they also drafted like a receiver who ran like a 4.2 in Tyquan Thornton, and he's 6'3".
So he'll be like
So
mid 90s speed, high 90s.
yeah, he'll probably be high 90s. Some of the rosters I've seen, he was like 97 speed at 6'3"
Mm. They
as
did
a
trade it. They
rookie.
traded away Nico Harry like recently,
Not surprised.
but it's not like he's not a game changer regardless.
No, not in Madden either.
Not in Madden, not in real life.
No,
um,
not in anything.
they have Juno Smith. He's a really good speed tight end.
Yeah, we'll have two. I mean, Johnu Smith and Hunter Henry are both good, both
Mm.
solid tight ends that you can use. So kind of go back to the old Patriot way with the two tight ends.
Mm-hmm. And they got a Sassy. They go three. They can go three.
Yeah.
Tight ends.
O
Offense line
line, I
wise,
don't think their O line is that good anymore.
yeah, just
They
as a
drafted that
patch
random guy.
Andrews, and they got some young people to try to build up or whatever. Trent
Yeah,
Brown's out there. The D
Trent Brown's
line,
solid.
yeah, the D line they got Lawrence Guy, Dietrich Wise. And these are just bodies, kind of. Um,
I'm seeing a lot of
Super
gross. Look at this D line.
Christian Barmore is young, so these are
Judon, he's a superstar dev.
yeah, that's true. They'll probably have that depth still. A good pass rusher, run stopper, whatever. He does a lot. He's probably better for the
But
Ravens though. Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I
I
don't
mean,
really
it's,
see.
it's it's definitely the Patriots way, So it's kind of just guys
Yeah,
that are like not too physical, but they're like kind of just
smart.
yeah, they're smart players. So it doesn't really translate the greatest to Madden. Every now and then you'll get some fast Patriots. Obviously, like the running back that was mentioned, and over the years, I know Jonathan
He's got
Jones
one
is
fast
still out there.
corner.
He used to be
The rest
faster.
are all slow. So
Yeah, I mean, lots of
Creasy,
cuts, lots of cuts
if you
on the
decide to
run.
listen to this, you need to play zone. Like just zone all the time.
He likes to flip his roster. He's gonna be like you're gonna be like, who is cutting these players one week just to sign them the next week? He'll do that. He'll float. He'll play like it's a real like NFL like you get
Yeah.
cut for having a fumble last game, bruh.
All right, so I gotta keep a look on the waiver wire for any Patriot that gets dumped.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would say he does have like three good like user safeties. He's got Duggar, Phillips, and Peppers, but like the rest of the secondary is not that good. Like McCourty's old, so he'll probably retire after this year.
Yeah,
But
and it's the
like,
Patriots. He might trade him. He'd probably trade him to somebody to a contender
yeah, I would try
after
to
he
trade
takes
him
a
now,
couple
like
L's. Yeah.
immediately.
Plus, I mean, this division, he's probably gonna have to try to reload if he wants to challenge the Jets. But so yeah,
Or
I,
even the Bills, like he might have a tough time with
well,
the
I
Bills.
feel like Creasy's probably Creasy and Flores kind of similar levels. But yeah, let's talk about the Bills. It's clearly the best roster in the division,
The best roster in the NFL,
and the
I
NFL
think.
by some people's opinions. Yes, they got it's a really nice roster. Obviously, having a quarterback you have to worry about for the rest of the cycle is amazing, and he's got a bazooka for an arm. He
Yeah,
probably have a gunslinger, So
he's got.
and if not, he'll end up qualifying to do the
Yeah, he's
switch
gonna
with
have
his arm.
everything. Yeah,
He's gonna be that's the quarterback that I would like. Give me gunslinger and some legs. It's a good game. We'll see what's up with escape artists because last cycle it was a no go. I don't know if because I played the beta and it was an ability in franchise in the beta, but it was an X factor during the exhibition. So it might be an ability in franchise
I
mode
think. Yeah, I
in
mean, from
Madden.
what I've read, it's only an X factor. They haven't updated it in franchise or anything like that, but I think it's only an X factor, which is cool because you can get knocked out of it. But I just haven't played enough to where I would be able to know like if it's any good or not.
Right, but at the same time, it's like, are they going to update it in franchise? This is Madden we're talking about.
Yeah, you're right. You
Like,
never
I feel
freaking know
like
with Madden.
then the beta is like 90%, 95% game
It's
completed.
true. That's
Like,
true.
that's pretty much what it is. Like, now there are some
Yeah,
rumors that we're supposed to get 6 trade slots, but again, I
it
mean,
wasn't
it
in
was it
franchise.
wasn't in
Yeah,
franchise when I saw it. So three, and
I
they
mean, I'm
haven't said
hope.
it. You know,
Yeah,
they gonna talk about
hopefully it's
whatever they.
Yeah, hopefully it's one of those things like we'll be able to start the franchise and this is like a hot patch update later on. But that would be cool if they could do
We
that
gotta
like as a
see.
later
Last
on
time they
thing
was
without
like,
having to restart everything.
yeah, last time they were like, hey, we're gonna fix scouting in December or whatever, whenever the heck they decide
Right.
to fix it. Like, or at first it was like, yeah, we'll have it by September. No, we'll have it by October. No, we'll have it in a couple weeks. They really kept pushing that,
Pushing that
pushing
shit.
it
Oh
back,
my
which is
god.
crazy for the scouting patch that I was like, and that wasn't it wasn't even like,
I'm
uh,
still confused by the scouting. Like I still don't know what I'm doing. Like
yeah, I just delegate. I mean, it doesn't matter. I still end up drafting decent. So, but yeah, they got Josh Allen. That's a beast. At running back, they got there's bodies, but you
they'll
might
have
be able to.
they drafted James Cook in the second round, Dalvin Cook's brother. He'll probably be like
Mm,
solid running back, probably like star dev, mid
okay.
90 speed maybe. So he'll have a good running back to start with. Then
Yeah,
he'll trade away.
Flores, he'll trade. He'll trade away. He'll trade for the
Yeah.
other Cook, and then
Yeah.
like his team is just gonna evaporate after a year or two. He's gonna end
Yeah.
up getting like 5.99. People gonna be like, how the hell this is the craziest roster, and then come season 2 and 3, and then
Exactly. Blow it all up.
he'll just silently exit stage left.
He's already asked about DK Metcalf, so he was the first person to ask
he
about it. I'm like,
said
I'm not
he
trading with you,
said
dog.
send Watt. He said send Watt. Like, I'm like, all right, send Allen, man. You
Yeah.
can.
Say your
But
whole
then
roster.
he'll break his team. But yeah, they got Stephen Diggs, who's a beast, X Factor. I mean, the receivers are really good in real life. It was a shootout versus the Bills and KC in the playoffs. So this whole receiving core is gonna get some love because they was putting up some numbers. So
Yeah, Gabe Davis had 4 touchdowns. Like, he's gonna be nice.
yeah, it's gonna be a solid team for sure. Tight ends, they got some good speed out there. OJ Howard and Knox, two
Yeah, stupid
85
good
plus
speed.
speeders out there, both under 27. So it's really good. He can have lots of different looks. Two tight ends, three
Yeah.
wide, four wide. Yeah, offensive line looks good too.
Yeah, it's pretty solid O line. Like, no
Yeah,
complaints there.
yeah.
And then the D line's gonna be really good to build up.
Yeah,
with
Young,
Russo
Grant,
and
Russo.
Basham, and then you have uh, Epinesa, who was a rookie last year or 2 years ago, and then they have still have Ed Oliver, and I think they signed Von Miller too. Yep. And they
Yeah, they got
re-signed.
Edmonds, they got Von Miller. Yeah, I
Yep.
mean,
Yep. 87 speed, 6'5" middle linebacker.
6'5". Jesus, that's that one of them old school thresholds in Madden.
Yeah, he's just a monster of a human.
Yeah, that's a glitch waiting to happen with the picks.
Yep.
Um, they got Tre'Davious White. He's a shutdown type corner. Got abilities, so it's gonna be fun.
And they drafted first round corner as well, Kyer Allen,
Yeah, he's good.
6'2". So he'll probably start Ev. So he's gonna have two good corners to start with.
Safety. Got Micah Hyde, I think, still there.
Yep.
So
And Poyer. Both should be a
both,
superstar. They were both
yeah, because
like
I mean,
stupid good last year.
they got a really good like shell.
Yeah. Like
So and they
he
got
should be able to just stay in like a stock safe zone coverage and be
they got
okay.
Von
Like as long as he
Miller.
doesn't do anything stupid.
They got the D line rushers and Von Miller. They got the speed linebacker in the middle. They got a lot. They got everything you want to win a championship. But I do not see this team winning the division. I think he takes second place in the division.
Same. I think he's second because the Patriots aren't gonna be able to keep up with
Yeah.
that roster.
But I mean, the Dolphins actually, let's talk about them. The user, I talked to the Dolphins guy. He says that he beats up on Patriots, so he might be a sleeper of the league. We don't even really. I mean, he played a little bit with the Chargers. I mean, he didn't seem nice, but he could have been. But Psycho, he didn't really seem nice. I mean, he was like, I could have been like cooking dinner while I was playing or something. I
Okay,
could have been
okay.
in a different room. Like so, but he claims that he owns Creasy. So I asked him just so I can get
Oh,
a true
nice.
gauge of him. So if he's
So we
better
got a
than Creasy,
rivalry.
I personally think that he should be able to push for second place. And the roster, which we can look at. I mean, the quarterback is whatever.
Yeah, quarterback
Just
sucks,
bridge,
but they have two
yeah.
first round picks.
But
So
then like you hit the running back, boom. Raheem Mostert is like the running back, and then it's like,
yeah, Mostert. Then you still look at the receivers. You have Hill, Waddle.
hold
Both are
on a
going to
second,
be
hold
almost
on a second.
99 speed. And I think they drafted a receiver as well who's like 6'3" and fast as well.
Yeah, so with Mostert as a running back, look at that speed, 96, and then it's like, yeah,
I mean,
the main thing is
if
the
he doesn't
receivers.
push Creasy, then he really can't say anything.
But yeah, the main thing is the receiver because you got Hill and Waddle, so that's like
Right.
forced cover two all game. Like you can dictate the defense because nobody wants to get beat deep because you can't like. But some other things you can do, but it really depends on the defense people playing, and I just feel like those weapons will make people always kind of like think about the like not getting beat over top, and then when they do that, a lot of the underneath stuff starts to open up, and you can obviously run. It really
Yeah.
depends.
If
But
he can
those
create a
weapons
good run game.
those are what you know what any user would want because that's what you as the game progresses you start to see rosters have more double speed out there and then it worked you want to play okay you just need one free seven one time somebody's you catch them slipping and
Yep.
they get that press and then your guy beats the press and it's just okay wait touch so. But yeah, the
Yep.
offensive line they got Armstead. That's good. And
That's
they
it.
made a lot of signings and they try and
Yeah. The
capitalize
O
off
line's
those.
just one guy, then a bunch of trash.
And the D
But
line,
then D line, I don't think they have a lot there. But they do have Jalen Phillips, who could be a pass rusher, who was really good last year. I think he led the rookies in sacks outside of Parsons.
Yeah, Jalen Phillips. Somehow he ended up playing D tackle for the Panthers.
That's another story for another day, man.
Yeah. It was like, what? How did this dude sack at me? Like, with inside stuff. This dude was killing. Jalen Phillips. Okay. All right. It just brought back a terrible memory.
You
Super
just
Bowl.
had revisionist, like reminded you of how terrible that was. It
Between
happens, man.
him and who was the other person in the D backs? Oh,
Oh, oh
Chin,
God,
Chin.
yeah. I
That.
mean, I would have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for Jeremy Chin. Like, caused a fumble in my own end zone, and then had like that stupid pick on fourth and 1, where he literally acrobated through my tight end, like literally morphed through the tight end. Like
Yeah,
Evan Ingram's dead,
yeah, that's
so
crazy.
it is what it is.
Yeah, but hey, new cycle, new teams. It's gonna be hopefully some more parity because he won
I hope
over
Chin blows his ACL out every week, and KG ain't even got him. I just want whoever got him.
Chin. Yeah, you just wake up the next day thinking, damn, Chin really did that. He really took my Super
Yeah,
Bowl. But
I
yeah,
was.
so the Dolphins. I mean, it's a good team. The main thing with this team is the two receivers that are 97 plus speed.
Yeah,
One of them's
they'll still
Tyreek
have.
Hill, who's an X factor.
Yeah, they still have 2 first-round picks. They've got some speed at corner,
Yeah, they got the
and
big ass
then
linebacker. They got
yep,
Phillips, the fake D tackle. Yeah,
good
cornerback.
safeties. So the secondary is going to be good. They have a young pass rusher, and they got speed of linebackers. Like the defense is solid. Like it's enough
I mean,
to get you by.
the team is solid. You just need a
Yeah, for
quarterback,
sure.
and you got Mostert at running back. So you got your 96 speed running back, which you can do damage with, and then the 97s receivers. It's like you can do a lot with them early. So.
Yeah, it may be something where they have to end up replacing Tua
But
because
with
I don't know
at the
how he's going to
injuries,
do throwing deep.
right? So no, I think it. Yeah. Well,
He's at
you got to be a
86
good
throw
GM.
power.
But yeah, so I would think the Dolphins will finish second or third. He should finish probably. Well, who knows? We'll see. But I don't see
Yeah, I
him
think
winning the division.
yeah, the whole
It's close
three.
though.
Like I would expect Flores to come in second, but like that whole three-way, like who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And then Creasy might wake up and just pull some upsets. You never know. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, so that's pretty much the division. That's the AFC East. I got it finishing with the Jets first, and then the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots. But it could be close. They can all have like a couple wins. I feel
Yeah,
like it'll be a lot of parity, and they won't really distinguish themselves the first season. But the Jets, I think he should be able to squeak out the division. And then this free with the new rules, free agency is going to be deep. It's going to be interesting. You know, and things could change, but right now, with the way the rules going to be, it's going to be a lot of teams gonna get blown up. But then at the same time,
yeah. I think I
you
think
still
a
got to
lot
fill your
of
roster. You got to get 53. You
yeah,
can't just spend all your money on two players, have 33, have like 40-man roster, and your cap's tapped out. No, you got to get to 53.
yeah. I think from what I've seen is that they have like the super player-friendly deal that you could offer.
Uh-huh.
I would imagine most people are gonna try to do that with
With the
their
players they really want.
stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is that their contracts are so over bloated that eventually you're gonna be broke. Like you're gonna have to figure out your core guys you're willing to pay for that, so you
Right.
don't lose them.
Something's gonna happen. Something's gonna give. People are gonna be like, "Damn, I can't re-sign nobody because I did this for 2 straight years, just giving them all the money." But hey, that's what you paid the price to keep your players out of free agency. So that's what
Yeah,
it is. You can
no,
always
no
just let them.
doubt.
You can always let them hit free agency and see how that goes.
I mean, if they hit free agency, the money's gonna be nuts. With the
For some, but
if
then
we
it's
do
like
the
it's stages though, like, and it'll be tiers, and then these people, all the people that strike out for day one, they're gonna you're gonna scramble and try to get somebody day two. It'll
Yeah,
be
that
it'll be
part. I
good.
think that is going to be more interesting. Free agency should be
It
a lot
should
more
be,
fun.
especially when when the money gets high and there's only so many
Yeah.
bids you can put out, so it's gonna
Yeah,
be
only
really
five
interesting.
bids per stage or something like that.
Yeah, so it's like okay, only 5 bids, huh?
Which is nice. I don't, for the most part, like I would never put more than that. But I know a lot of guys would like have 10 bids out and try
Yeah,
to
I
get
mean,
someone and pull a
if you
bid.
right, I mean, I would definitely throw out like 15 bids if I could, like, and then it won't be all the big names. It'll be like just guys to fill my roster. And I'm like, hey, while everybody's looking at the big stuff, I'll just get all these other things and get these players cheap. Fill the team
Yeah,
up.
that's smart, smart. But now you're gonna only have 5 bids, so
Yeah, that's the thing. So you're gonna have to do a lot of drafting. Draft picks will be more valuable just for the control, just to not have to deal with the free agency fiasco. So,
yeah,
but we'll
because
see.
the contract's gonna get wild. And what sucks is like Madden hasn't figured out how to up the cap yet in the game, like how it is in real life. Like they just the cap stagnant every year.
No, I know. No, Madden they increased the cap.
They do each year.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, they do. They do that. Yeah, I think it go up like 5 or 10 every year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But it's like,
Well, then never mind.
well, if you
I
if you
take
keep
that back, EA.
if you
I'm sorry for offending you.
yeah, but if you put like your whole team on like player friendly, they'll even with the cap going up, you're gonna them last years in that contract is gonna eat stuff
It's
up.
be stupid. Yeah.
Like,
No, I know.
but it's
When
still
I
you
look,
can still pull it off though for a couple
yeah,
franchise
the
tags
free
too.
agency one for Lamar Jackson. When I did the CFM, he wanted like 60 million a year if I offered a player friendly deal, and even if I offered the player friendly deal, like the super player friendly deal, his interest still wasn't high enough because it didn't meet whatever his interests were. Like he wanted a Super Bowl contender, like a whole bunch of other stuff that I didn't have.
Yeah, so
So,
that would be interesting. So people that if you if you're out of the playoff race, you may consider trading some of your players that because they might not want to re-sign with you if you keep taking L's.
yeah, because that's part of it too. Is like depending on like the I think it was like the tax state, like state income tax, contender, history, location. There's like several factors.
Hmm.
So depends on whatever EA decides that this player is going to be like most important to them, and you
Right.
won't know, I guess, until the end of the season. Maybe I guess you could look in like
Yeah, if I
early
have a
on when you
player
try to
card,
re-sign them,
yeah, they got like player
but
traits. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like especially like the new players that come in, how many head cases they're gonna make versus like the
yeah.
players that don't want to play for you. And like, oh my, because they got a lot of traits. They got like mentor traits where if you got a mentor on your team, like the overall for the whole position group goes up, which is kind of cool. Like certain players, like they get older, they become mentors. So like holding on to old low ranked players will still help you because it'll make your young players good. Like it's really like it's got a lot of little role playing tag GM things. So it'll be interesting. It's not just okay, jump on the field, play football. You gotta manage that roster too. So it'll be
Which is
fun.
better. Which you need to have that in
Yeah,
Madden to
they
make
need more of
CFM
that, but
living.
they're starting to wake up with the franchise people on Twitter bashing them every year. So,
I mean, we've been going at it for 10 years.
but
Like
it's
I
like
don't know how many years
I feel like
every
it's
year
bigger
I
and bigger,
complain.
and it's like it's starting to get more mainstream. More mainstream people are like hating
Yeah,
on
I
EA
mean,
for this. They're like this game is trash, and like we can't let people say that. So they're like, okay, let's put 3 features back in.
I think because I think from a lot of the people, like a lot of the big name YouTube streamers, like or I guess it's just YouTube. And I don't know about Twitch, but the YouTube guys that play Madden, like they're all doing CFMs, like money leagues for CFMs,
Hmm.
instead of playing MUT because like MUT everybody has the same player, so it's not people aren't gonna want to watch that. But with the CFM, like you have like the real players, things like that. So I think that has kind of maybe helped sway that because they're getting thousands of views for their videos that they do for CFM stuff. Or before it was all MUT. It's the only thing you could ever watch with those guys with MUT, which is
Yeah.
boring. But I guess to some, some people love MUT.
Yeah, but hey, I digress. So that's it. That wraps up today's show, guys. Again, that's Johnny. He's one of the amends on the amend team, and he's gone to the Super Bowl I think a couple times. Can't remember, but he's been to the Super Bowl a couple times, and the one time he had to play KG, it was a lot to a little, but the second time he had him in the first half. Not gonna lie.
I had him until the last play of the game, man. Don't do this
I
to me.
know, no. He definitely had it to last play. Hey, I had KG to like the last play of the game, but KG somehow, some way,
Man,
he
that
gets
mattered
shit
last
done.
year. I feel like you could score in 2 seconds. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad that's gone and buried
Well,
because
we'll
I
we'll
hated
see though.
that.
It might still be like that, but we'll see.
I hope not. I need some sort of defense. Like I can't call the right play and then my guys still get beat easily. Like that shit
Right.
was annoying.
But yeah, so I mean, we got the Cowboys and the Jets winning their divisions. Um, Feel
So
free to chime in
just
if
for
you guys.
clarification, if Jay Stopper listens to this last part, just remember that you're the Cowboys and I'm the Seahawks. So when we do our tiers list, just know that you're gonna be 4 or 5 tiers below me, and you just have to accept that you're not as good as you think you are.
But it's going to be interesting, with you being the Seahawks. I mean, that's a tough conference. You got
Yeah,
you
I'm in the
got
toughest division.
KG. You do got KG in the conference. Forgot. Yeah, so that's tough. But he's the Bears, so if he's a
Yeah.
better GM than you, I mean, he might climb over you. But I mean, we'll see.
I mean, the NFC West is going to be tough from the jump because their teams are already really good teams. So I have like a bottom five roster versus three good teams. So I just have to hope the users are not as good as their teams.
Right. Well, I mean, Lighty, he plays a little bit. We'll see how
Lighty's
legit
good.
it is. And then the other guys, they're pretty good, but they're not like
I'm not worried.
Super Bowl but they're playoff guys for sure. I mean, we'll see. I feel like you still, based on the fact that you went to the Super Bowl twice, that's like it's a different level. Like you can play clutch if you need to. A lot of people they get distracted or whatever, and they don't focus and they take L's. But I think you can squeeze squeeze through and
It's
even
gonna be year
win a
one's gonna be
division.
really tough. I'm not expecting a lot from year one, but by year two, I would expect to be able to have a deeper playoff run.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. And definitely, the closer we get, if things change up, we'll do some updates. And obviously, before the franchise starts, people will be playing, and their confidence will go up or go down. Depending on how it goes. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Just based off, the years and years we've played men, we kind of know that some of this stuff carries over from cycle to cycle. It's just certain aspects of the game, reading defenses, strategy, coaching,
Yep.
using offense, defense, making the right reads. Some people just got it, some people don't. But yeah, this was Johnny. He's gone to Super Bowls and he's looking to try to get his first Super Bowl ring at STE soon. We'll see. It's tough. All right, guys. Signing out.